a beautiful landscape of mountains, jungles, and more, Ebonscale Reach battles Eden Grove for the title of the most beautiful settlement in the game. However, beauty in Ebonscale is often a mask for the evils within, as can be seen with both the veracity of the land and the Empress herself. Today, we are going to journey into this unique landmark of Aeternum, understand the impact and implications that the corrupted army here provides, and learn the story of Empress Zhao, the Dragon of Aeternum. And hopefully with all this information, we can take these clues and see how these connect to Aeternum as a whole, and maybe help fill in the puzzle that is the lore of this new world. Ebonscale Reach is a politically complicated land, divided between the Empress and her forces, and the refugees at the settlement. Add in the divisive fighting over the territory by the three factions, and you see a war-torn land seeking peace. These refugees have fought to survive in this land, building up a fort to fight against the corrupted, but that may not be enough. Beyond the politics, Ebonscale holds a variety of gorgeous landscapes, from dense swampland to ranging mountainsides. The inhabitants include many, but some are Elder Danya, the leader of the Ebonscale settlement, picking up the reins of the refugees of the dynasty. Constance Redridge, the magistrate who believes in traditions being kept, which is why the player helps gather ink for art and costumes for her. Ting Long, the artificer that is worried about corrupted agents and building up defenses. Huan Bao, who is fascinated with flora on the island and searches for aid in bringing down Legorath, a now corrupted general. And Zhang Lingyan, former handmaiden to the Empress Zhao Taiying before she became corrupted. These individuals are all survivors of the tragic tale of the Dragon of Aeternum, the Empress. The story begins back in China, on the eve of the Taiying Empress's ascension. Her brother, Sheng Wu, visited her. It is revealed that he planned on overthrowing her, which he does, and casts her and her loyal followers into exile as they sail away. They search for a new home, a place for a new life, and maybe a chance to regrow in power to reclaim the Empress's throne. Her journey begins nobly, with her caring for her people and wanting to make a better life. They land upon the shores of Aeternum, wary of it due to it not being on their maps and the strange red, collapsed mountain in the distance. However, the Empress makes camp here, saying that this place has old powers that may be the key to returning home. During this time, the Empress met with a strange man, one hooded and reeking of death. Zhang warned the Empress that the man could not be trusted, but after she met privately with him, he left, and she reeked of death herself, saying that the man offered everything we lost, and in return, she had to give the man everything we are to gain. This man had been sighted before around Isabella, and many believe he is the true puppet master behind both the Empress and Isabella herself, either the true leader of the corrupted or an agent for them. After this event, Isabella, the Tempest herself, came to visit the Empress, and everything changed after that. The Empress fell into corruption, finding a ruby-colored gem to convert her people. This is an item we have seen in other lore locations, some type of corrupted power source that we have seen used before to convert individuals to the corrupted. The Empress calls it a dragon's pearl, and uses it to start turning her royal guard and everyone into corrupted. Her humanity has begun to change. This is when many decide to flee from the Empress, fearing this evolution. It was remarked that the Empress was once viewed as the most beautiful lady in the world, but when non-corrupted guests would go see her, she was stricken with deep red veins across her body and no longer seemed warm to anyone. Personal pleas to the Empress from her people were only met with cruel punishments set forth from her guard. Zhang fled during this time, which was a personal blow to the queen, as she was always with the Empress from her childhood. These people leaving her only strengthened her resolve, as the Empress rose to become the Dragon of Aeternum, destined ruler of the worlds old and new. She would use her forces to begin constructing a fleet so that her new army would crash upon China and take back her throne. Of course, the player eventually intervenes. The angry Earth of Edengrove refused to shut down the Motherwell, which fuels the storm trapping all on Aeternum, until the Empress's fleet is destroyed. The player goes, destroys her fleet, and eventually puts down the Empress, slaying the Dragon of Aeternum, and letting her people finally rest easy. The story of Ebonscale Reach is a tragic one, an overthrown Empress seeking a new home and a chance to rebuild her people, gone down the drain with the influence of the corrupted and the tainting of Aeternum. However, through this tragedy, we gained incredible insights into the corrupted, the effects it has on people, and showing insights into the philosophical question of what is a people. If you enjoy this content, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want more lore, check out the lore series, where as of this video, we have explored the main story in 5 minutes, as well as other settlements like Windsward, Brightwood, and more. Next, we'll conclude with the final settlement we will cover on this series for the time being, Reekwater. Till next time.